Thank you so much for staying tuned. It's all about the forthcoming elections and, of course, the dilemma of the southern part of Nigeria. Don't forget that we have 6 geopolitical zones. And this time around, according to permutation and combination, and, of course, the reasoning behind the sharing formula. Some are saying it's a turn right now of the southern part of Nigeria to bring forth the #1 man of the country come 2023. And of course, we have power brokers also in the north that says, look, anyone can vie for this position. We have, some personalities from the north saying that they too can still take Nigeria to a greater height. But the question now is, take a look at the south-south, southeast, southwest, south-south. Whose turn should it be really to go on for that #1 position? Talk about the southern region. And of course, with all the map that is going on, what do you think will play out? I'd like to start my introduction by introducing the one sitting closest to me, human rights activist, a political analyst. Join me to welcome Emmanuel Aigbogun. Emmanuel, welcome to TMI Thursday's edition. I appreciate your coming.
Good morning.
All right.
Good morning, viewers at home.
And of course, my ever vibrant Prof. Julius, yes, I see very much around. Yeah, to really share his own thoughts and opinions on the particular issue. Prof, thank you so much for joining us the second round, so to speak. Appreciate you staying by.
Thank you, Wilson, for having me.
Oh, all right.
Good morning, viewers.
And of course, I have a very vibrant lecturer also in Uniben, a political analyst. Join me to welcome John Osazua. Welcome to TMI Thursday's edition.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate your coming. It's been a story of back and forth. It's been a story of north versus south, so to speak, in the political terrain. And right now, some are saying it is time for the southern part of Nigeria to bring forth a president, while some in the north are contending it. But let's talk about southern part of this country. Southeast, south-south, southwest. John, I want to start off with you. What do you feel about this? Because right now, according to report, the southern part, they are not ready yet to showcase a candidate. How do you feel about this?
Thank you very much. I would not want to believe that the Southerners are not ready or desirous to contest for that exotic position. It just depends on the political formula that we play. The political formula means that what are their assets, what are their resources that they will use in utilizing it. Now, in the southern part of the country, like you said, 3 geopolitical zones. You have the southwest, you have the south-south, you have the southeast. Among these 3 geopolitical zones, I must confess from empirical studies that the southwest are more politically united than the south-south and the southeastern part of the country. Simply because of some variables in terms of dispositional factors such as attitude, such as opinion or belief system of the southwest people. They kind of have a unified philosophy on how to project and produce a ruler from their place. Coming to the south-south, we are mostly divided on ethnic lines, ethnic variables that will actually help to affect. Then in the southeast, which somehow has the less political unity factors working against them. Most importantly, recently, is the ongoing agitations, that is happening there. That would be a great factor to actually disunite them, to disorganize them in the southeast. By political restructuring, ordinarily, all Nigerians would desire to have the southeastern part of the country to produce the president. But again, with the available facts on ground, one, the disunity among them, public opinion, and the civil unrest in that particular place makes it very difficult. And in terms of political parties, the Southeast have a minority in terms of politics. You have Abgal, you have they are scattered. They are not kind of a zigzag type of region, like the southwest and the south. So that will actually affect the south east.
All right. Well, you heard him. He gave, a breakdown of each region in the southern part of Nigeria. But according to Pundit is saying right now it is the turn of the southeast to produce a president, but he gave factors that militate against that dream. What's your angle on this?
He's very correct. But then looking at it historically also, there's another factor that has played out on this. Yeah. That is the kind of parliamentary system that was adopted then. You find that white men couldn't put anybody and say this is a leader in the southeast. But it's not like that in the north where you have the Rankadede and all that. You have, if you come to the Yoruba, they are more, they are calmer and they're more collected, politically united compared to the southeast and then the south. But however, if this country wants to develop, they should allow an Igbo man to lead her now. It was a revelation I got in 2004. And then I almost doubted because of what you would say of an average Igbo man. But then God asked me, who are those who were there making waves in Obasanjo's government? And truly, I looked at them. The Soludos was there, you have the Ekeruke, you have that woman, and then so many of them, and these were people, in that government who made Obasanjo government then tick and all that. And so that was when that information came and all that, I said, okay, this might be correct. There are many persons from the southeast. People have rights to, show interest and all that. But then let all of them come to political parties. Let Nigerians agree that yes, it is the turn of people from the southeast. That will rest all the unrest. So that will rest all the unrest. Okay. You understand? And so if we are able to do that, you find that all of them, and other Nigerians should help them to come to that agreement, knowing fully well that it is the turn of these people. Somebody not wanting to eat where he or she has no soul and all that. That is my...
All right, I'll come back to you, Prof. Emmanuel, you heard their submissions. John gave a brief analysis of each sub-region in the southern part. Of course, Prof. Julius mentioned a specific southern part, the southeast, saying it's their turn. We should give them a shot because that would just rest all the unrest. What do you feel about this?
Well, for my personal view, I don't care what part of the country the presidential candidate emerges from. All we see as young people and all what we believe in is a man or an individual or a political interest that can jettison Nigeria from this state of hopelessness. Having said that, one thing we want to say as Nigerians, and particularly as a young Nigerian who is very, very, very enlightened with the political atmosphere of this country, is that we need to jettison the sentiment of wherever one comes from and focus on who can deliver, who has the capacity to move a vehicle or a political landmark that can actually remove us from this state of hopelessness. Now, if you take a closer look at it, we have had presidents from the north, from the west. Obasanjo was from the west when we came into 1999 government, and after which Yar'Adua came in from the north. We had Jonathan for I think 5 years after the doctrine of necessity took him into office, 5 and some years he was there. What did we gain as Southerners? The East-West Road, we were still battling with it. Was he not a Southerner? Did he fix the southern corridors? We have had a Buhari who has been there and who is still there in power today. The Northerners are crying more and appears to be more helpless than how it used to be, when you had Jonathan or even Obasanjo ruling the country. So for me, I don't think geopolitical zones or regions should be the question. The question should be, who are these individuals? Who are these political, gladiators or political actors that can actually drive a vehicle that will pilot the affairs of this country to a state of El Dorado, as the case may be.
All right, I'll come back to it. Now, he said he doesn't care no matter the region where this person will emerge from, as long as that person can take Nigeria to the next phase of what Nigerians are really expecting. Do you share that thought and opinion, John?
Well, it's an issue of yes and no. Yes, in the sense that we are a secular state where the Constitution gives equal rights to every citizen. But because of equity, Nigerians are appealing, passionately appealing for the other part of the country, particularly the north. That is why we have federalism. Federalism is to recognize the majority, and the majority should respect the minority. And if you allow the minority to come in, they will bring a kind of a balance. Better as it may, I will not say no, simply because the North have had it. I think the Northern part should just please be very patriotic and nationalistic, be very understanding and compromising in this regard, because we have had a very elastic political dehumanization within the country, even outside the country. So to this end, just want to have a different person from the certain part of the country that has a different ideology on how to govern the country. But as it may, I have to come back to the Southeast again. Southeast, they are very, very blessed people to this country, very industrious people. And socioeconomically, they are very united, despite they also carry out individualistic disposition in their livelihood. They do not have, they have the individuals, but they do not have the institutions. The institutions are not cooperating. Let me say what I mean by institution. You have Ohaneze, you have Idigbo, you have different institutions that are not, you have other institutions, political institutions, traditional institutions that ought to harmonize this would I call them political gladiators? I want to call them transitionalists, okay, because there's a step before political gladiators. No, all of them are just transitionalists. They have actually demonstrated, with due respect, this is the media is to educate, enlighten, and so with due respect, if you see all the arrays or the league of contestants, of aspirants from the eastern part of the country, they are majorly former governors of this state. Now you check their antecedents. What is the antecedent? What kind of perceptions have they generated, public opinion or belief system they generated from their people? It is negative. It is negative. For instance, before, with due respect again, this is immediate, Rochas Okorocha was well adorned, before he became governor, and when he was there, people started having a misconception, a perception about him that he does not have that wherewithal to do this. You can see the kind of political violence that has erupted across the eastern part of the country. And if they had gotten such a vibrant political institution, such as Ohaneze and Idigbo, and other youth, even the marketers, who are the bourgeois, who are cut across the country, cut across the world. They also have institutions outside the country, in Ghana, in Idigbo. If they can come together to harmonize, they can bring somebody. And with their socio-economic or socio-commerce ideology, I think they will be able to fix the country. Right. But outside the institution coming together to harmonize them, I tell you, no way.
All right, you heard him. Outside the institution coming to harmonize them, there is a kind of, a no. Now, you talked about the country supporting them, allowing them. Use the word allowing them. Why would you use that term or that word allowing them?
Yes, because you see, they are the weakest of all the regions, as it were.
Yeah.
If you look at the north, you look at the south, and the southeast, they are the weakest. And God says, I will use the weak to confound the strong.
But to them, they are not the weakest. They are not even weak.
Wait, let me tell you. What I mean by that
is... Talking about political weakness.
Yes, I'm talking about political weakness. Those who can insist on power and direct power to themselves. I'm not a bigot. Let me put that first of all.
All right.
But these people should be allowed, because I know if somebody comes up, the North are highly politically active. Do you understand?
Yeah.
They can beautifully sway even this election in their direction. And since the South has always played second fiddle they will be helping them to position because of some individuals who are just looking for some parties, crumbs from the table, and the North can take it. If you go to the Southwest, they are also, you understand? The Igbo minds, they are, like we have said here, they are individualistic and all that. But we need that factor to be able to govern this country. Any man who has tied him or herself to different units can hardly perform because you must attend to them. That is one of the biggest problems. That is why the Nigerian political space doesn't have independent candidacy. And which is one of those things for some very good persons to be able to come up. But who will allow it? That is why I'm saying if we can come with a concerted position, to allow, let these people now go. There are people like that. Okorocha, okay, minus. But we have a young man from the Anambra area, Peter Obi, did very well. You have heard him speak. You understand? Mogalu tried his hands in the last. You have heard of Mogalu and so many. Even this woman is even being mentioned or fingered. The current and all that. These are seasoned and disciplined people and all that. So why if a country, that's why I said that if we want development as a nation, we should look at that region now. And then help whoever agreeing without looking at personal interests to come up to lead this country.
All right, now as against your opinion from what they are talking about, it's all about, being a patriot, being, a Nigerian, that the North should just give it out to the southern region for at least that brotherliness, that brotherhood should continue. Today is my turn, tomorrow is your turn, but there seems to be this disarray, so to speak, right now in the southeastern region of Nigeria. Like what Prof said, he said, look, they are weak, not in terms of, being weak, but politically speaking, if you take them out of the map and bring them into national politics, they seems to be the weakest in that region, according to Prof. What are your feelings about this?
Basically my feelings about them being weak, I look at it from two perspectives. One, you have to look at the region who very many young persons in that region are agitating for a referendum. You wouldn't take that out of the box. You also look at a region where the political elites are, largely seen to be working against the interests of a vast majority of their population. As of today, it is no longer news that on monthly basis you hear about youth agitating for referendum, to the extent they have even come up with their own security network, and all of that. So in any sane political setting, giving power to such a region at a time like this do not portend well for the country in any sane political setting. On the second thought, I as a young man, I try not to rally myself around rhetorics. I try to make sure we hit the shots. As of today, if you ask me who are the two major political gladiators I see emerging from the south west and south that is very, very organized to produce an office of the #1 citizen of this country. I look at the caliber of the likes of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu. I look at the likes of Governor Nyesom Wike, owing to the fact that these two political figures have shown readiness. Without being told, you have seen Wike come out to let you know that I can build bridges in 1 year, flyovers in 1 year, and commission it. You have seen Wike come out to tell you, see, I can turn around the fortune of our infrastructural deficit in a state, to right off the wrongs and put it on the landmark.
But he has not indicated interest. He's not saying anything about it.
In Nigeria here, in Nigeria here, you don't need anybody to tell you where a politician is heading to before you know his direction. On the other hand, when you look at Asiwaju, is a major factor that brought about the Buhari-led government. Talking about the CPC and the ACM power block, I believe Asiwaju represents that interest of national leadership.
All right.
And
we're not here to campaign, please. Let's apply
just,
brakes right now.
Okay, I just want to be academically direct with what the issue is. Now, it's the reality on ground that we as a people must understand that our Nigerian political system talks more about individualship in a political setting than the political institution that pilots the affairs of the party.
All right, Emmanuel, you just have to hold on right now. I want to go on a break or return. We'll continue with the discussion. Don't forget, in the southeast, names have been mentioned. You have Peter Obi, you have Rochas Okorocha, and of course, Okonjo realized basically just name it, Ojus Okalo, and of course, you have a Wiki in the south, and of course, for the southwest, Tinubu is there. But Oshibanjo said, look, play down on my ambition right now. That's for Vice President Oshibanjo. In the north, we have a Tamboa, we have also an article. You just name it, name just keep on popping up. Since 1999, you get to realize that the north on one hand have gotten it maybe almost twice. Yeah, because one full term, 8 years, and of course during time of Yaradua. If you come to the southwest, so let's say the western part of the country, they've gotten it, let's say once, so to speak, of Basanjo. And of course, for the south, we have Good Luck, Ebele, Jonathan. For the east, still 0. And the north are now saying that, look, if you want to go by geopolitical zone, it hasn't really gone round the geopolitical zones in the north. But right now is a question for the southern part of Nigeria to answer their dilemma. And my analysts are talking about the southeastern part of the country. While one of my analysts is talking about, look, whoever comes up, let that person take Nigeria to a higher height. Over now to you, John, talking about the smallness, so to speak. We talk about national politics of this particular region, the southeastern region, and of course, the situation that Emmanuel is talking about in that particular region. From all that is happening right now, are they out of the race?
Well, not clear. There's still room for proper adjustment, behavioral adjustment, ideological adjustment. Like I said, obvious factors are there that actually that will meditate or extinguish their chances of becoming the president of the country. Not that they don't have the wherewithal, yeah, they do. But like I said, one, they have a very disunited political institutions. Political institutions, that is, these are decision making. They determine who gets what, when, and how. So if you see, like, if it is Southwest, if the political institution is Southwest calls request for Obasanjo's presence, he goes there. But if the Yohanese calls of them, they might not go. If it is they attend, so that political disunity is not there. Then two, the civil unrest there, the agitation is so compoundly found. That is, it's so complex. It's so keen to the Easterners that they have to secede, and that affects the national unity which Comrade has identified. Why I said there are still rules is that one, with the present situation of acute insecurity in the northern part of it, and the differentiation of the north central part of the country, that is the middle belt, who have also come up to say, look, enough is also enough for them. They have to now liberate us politically and otherwise. It would have been a chance if the political institution in the eastern part is able to coagulate themselves, to harmonize, to coordinate themselves. They can meet the political institution. It is political institution that takes the decision. They have the craft. For instance, let me just say one political institution, with due respect, the monarch of the kingdom. It's an institute. He knows how to blow the whistle. Are you getting me? A very great chief. He knows how to, it's an institution. Are you getting? He knows to build. So that's what I'm saying. If they are able to align what is said and what Tinubu is doing, he's able to align with this political institution in the south and in the southwest and in the middle belt. I tell you, the Easterners will go based on Professor's agitation on sympathy. Sympathy. Let us sympathize with them. Not just sympathize. Let us now empathize with them. Look, actually, by law of nature, it is your right as Nigerians to agitate. If they're able to manage these identified major factors, I tell you, they have the resources, they have the wherewithal, they have the human and material resources to become the president. But they must, they don't have any person to hold accountable. There is no, are you going to hold Ohanese? Now you also have another person there.
Talking about the IPOP that been disbanded, yeah.
ESN is there. Then you have another political gladiator. So they are so stratified differently. So this will actually work against it. But if they look inwards, go to the drawing table. Now, Una Mazi Bianibe. Let us discuss. I tell you.
That's a language.
Yeah.
Namaze,
Yeah.
Bianeba. Okay, now you heard them. But he made something. He said, look, no country in their right frame of mind will ever want to give the presidency to a particular sector or sect that want to succeed.
Yeah.
That is quite strong. Is this enough to say, look, for now you have to be in the cooler?
Excuse me, I want to consider that statement a paradox.
Paradox in what
Yes,
terms?
because what you actually need is to give it to them, to simmer them down, to calm them down. Look at it. Let me tell you, all the heat you are seeing from the southeast is as a result of age-long oppression, denial. That is what you are saying.
I don't completely agree.
No, okay, yeah.
Just hold on. He has the floor.
It's an Igbo man.
Just hold on.
You understand?
John, please just hold on. He has the
You
floor,
see,
please.
What we have said, we are talking about the leadership. That is what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about appendages. We are talking about who is in the hands of affairs. That is the way I'm looking at it. Because if you go down to history and look at it, if ever one had gone through this book, the tragedy of history, of victory, Alabi Isa, you will understand the politics, dynamics from where they even. Do you know that you had more soldiers from the southeast earlier?
Before the Civil
In the
War.
60s. Yes, in the 60s, in this country. And so this has continued. And so why are they asking for agitation? Why do they want to severe? Why did Ojukwu come up with Biafra idea? Have we asked? Is it not because of, you have not allowed me to do, also lead like you are doing? I think that is the reason for all this. You are denying my people. You are oppressing my people. That is the reason. Those are the reasons. Part of the reasons for the Biafra agitation and all that. And so now I'm saying to rest these agitations, it will be good to now say, okay, and I don't think Nigeria will be taking a risk because we have seen people from that, region perform very, very well. It is a matter of Nigerians sitting down from the milieu, because a number of them will come up. That is what you normally see from the South, and that's because of the system of governance that they had before the white man's government came. And so sit down and say, okay, let's narrow down and choose for that region. This is whom we will be supporting. I'm telling you that we will be somewhere. We would have gone very, very far as a nation.
Emmanuel, you heard him. He said to really quell that agitation for actualization, you have to give them that particular position. But you said no country in the right frame of mind will do that.
Yes, we don't need to stretch more on this. You see, in the time past, we were always talking about Hausa Fulani. We were always talking about the middle belt calling themselves Northerners. But now, if you look at the current demography of Nigeria, they tell you we are not Northerners anymore. We are not Fulani, we are not Hausa. We are not no longer the trend of one northern region. We are now middle belt. We are not the baggy people, we are not the Benues, we are not this. If you want to take it by that sentiment, I tell you, in these 2023 elections, so many regions will be telling that they have not even been ministers. They have not even been governors, or they have not even been senators. They want to be this, they want to be that. The question to talk about in this current today Nigeria, putting the difficult, economic terrains we find ourselves in this country, is for us to have a man who can shoot the shot.
A man who can shoot the shot.
Yes, that's what we need in Nigeria. See, let me tell you, just before we walked into the studio, I heard Prof talking about the Diagbon government and how Nigerians were made not to throw papers from the vehicle or
war against indiscipline,
or urinating on the road. And when President Muhammad Buhari was coming in, we all thought that was the kind of Nigeria we're going to be. In fact, many people said from his body language. But at the end of the day, this is 7 years in government. What have we seen? So the truth be said, we should jettison the issue of this ethnic or regional sentiments. I tell you today, I schooled in the eastern part of Nigeria. What the young Easterners want is not the #1 citizen of Nigeria. They are calling for a referendum. They want to know, they want to verify from their people if you are willing to continue in this unity called Nigeria. The agitations are very clear. Even before the federal government declared them a terrorist organization, their campaigns are very straightforward. Any sane mind can always understand what their agitations are. So if you're saying that giving them the number one citizen will solve all of that, I don't think you have really, belted the shots. If you take a closer look about what they say about their own government, their governors and what have you, you understand the point I'm coming from. But however, what we want in Nigeria is a system or a leader that can provide the system that can work. Whether it is coming from the south, whether it is coming from the north, whether it is coming from the east or the west. The basic thing is give us a man who can pilot the affairs, who have the capacity to pilot the affairs of this country. And just as you rightly said, taking a closer look about the institutions. In Nigeria today, there's no kind of measures you want to adopt that you will talk about political institutions, outside the PDP and the APC. So if there is any serious political, destiny we want to find ourselves in, we must marry it within these two institutions. That is it.
Wow. John, over to you. Hold on, because our time is almost up. You're going to sum up that information in 1 minute each.
I hope I can.
Okay, John, over to you. Your 1 minute starts now.
Well, Comrade is trying to be nationalistic, bringing the doctrine of equity. Well, right. And Prof is saying, let us empathize with these people. But with the empirical facts available, with the mindset of the Easterners, it's going to be very difficult for the Easterners to emerge as the president of the Federal Republic.
That is
Nigeria.
Southeast.
Southeast. They have individuals. On individual level, they perform very well,
right.
Such as Ikojuwela, etc., et al. They have great individuals. What they should do is to find how to go and harmonize. There is still time. That was the place in which Chinua Achebe, that influenced Chinua Achebe to say things fell apart. So that cannot hold. Yeah. If they can find where and how things fell apart, I tell you the center will hold for them.
All right, thank you so much, John. I really appreciate the wonderful analysis. Prof, your 1 minute starts now.
Led to the agitation for Biafra, for IPOB, the wanting to severe and all that. But however, that this country on democracy and federalism, quota system had been there earlier, govern this country with sectional interests and all that. We cannot continue again this time and age because almost everybody who occupy government positions now are from one particular ethnic class. That will not work well this current time. So that is why power must also shift.
All right, thank you so much, Prof. Well, Emmanuel.
Yes, what I have to tell Nigerians out there is that we should not dive into sentiments. Nigeria has been so badly beaten to the extent that all we look up to is a hope that can marry this neglect, this gap of economic uncertainty that we have currently been made to witness. And we should also know that not until when we begin to build political institutions outside PDP and APC, we have no other hope than to remain with them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. If we can take a look at the time right now, our time is totally up. I appreciate a wonderful analysis, top-notch analysis. It's all about 2023 election, a dilemma of the southern part of Nigeria. Yes, the southern part of Nigeria. Three geopolitical zones. We have the south-south, the southwest, and of course the southeast. And they're all saying it is our turn. Don't forget about the north also. All right, we have the northeast, and of course I'll have the north central. You just name it. It's like everyone just keep on clamoring for that position. What do you think will be out of all this? The Denmark part, who would queue behind if it's surely they're turned by that gentlemanly agreement, because each will be very clamoring. It is south. Some for the southeast for now is no, it's their turn. Give it to them. Youth companies will have health. Yes, it has to do with ITV, but it is best possible to follow rules and regulations government the which on behalf of praise and for Jenny and our 714 to have wonderful to say here. Bye now.